Hey guys, welcome back to part 30. Vehicle combat section. Really? Seems like a perfect spot for a vehicle combat section. Oh my god, I could just fucking gone forward 20 feet and been done with it. Oh well, I got that coffee thermos, it was worth it. Okay.
Zane cut its heart out, but it didn't die. The thing that wore Barbara's face kept crooning sweet nothings sugar-laced with poison. He put on the suit, untied the monster from the chair. The thing in his arms thrashed weakly, but he held fast. He stepped outside, off the pier, and into the dark water, a sinking pinprick of light descending toward a bottom that never came.
This would actually lend well to like a Call of Cthulhu campaign. Friend who really likes Cthulhu mythos, get on it. Anyway. Yeah, not so threatening when you don't have any friends around. Okay. Anyways, as I was saying at the end of the last episode, was that this game, unlike Remedy's last game series, Max Payne 3, was made by Rockstar without any of Remedy's input. So, like, the biggest problem with that is it does suffer from, like, hard, weird tonal shifts. Because, like, this game clearly wants to be, like, a horror/thriller game. But, like, it also wants to have action. And it also wants to be very character-driven, because in the Max Payne games, Max Payne was alone. You were just basically with Max Payne for most of the games. And then, in a couple of instances, he would have, like, people with him. But they were never very long. Like, in the second game, there was the one where you let a guy around for a little while, then he dies at the end of it, and then there's also sometimes you spend with another woman. I'm trying to be vague. The people who've played it know exactly what I'm talking about. But, like, relative isn't tied to head, but Alan Wake is kind of trying to be like, oh, this is Alan, he's alone, you know. He's just kind of that guy. Can I go over there? Can I go to that, I'm gonna go with no on that one, Bob. But, like, they kind of want to treat him like a loner, but he's not. They introduced, like, a wide cast of characters. In Max Payne, they introduced, like, 3. They introduced Max, they introduced, like, a couple other major players, and then the plot just kind of went from there, right? And they crossed characters off the list as it needed to, and that type of thing. I'm gonna go poke at this windmill. I actually don't know what these are called. And I'm sure they have an actual name. Not a windmill, obviously. No, not over there. But Max Payne didn't suffer from like narrative problems because it kept it sort of small. But in Alan Wake, in the opening, they introduced like a big cast of characters, and you know, like this is Rose and Barry and your wife, and then they introduced the radio show host, and they're introduced the Anderson brothers, and like, yeah, so like they clearly have like a plan, you know, like this game isn't just like what the fuck ever.
When I told Barry my plan back in the well-lit room, I'd acted as if I knew what I was doing. I didn't. I was operating on the shifting logic of a dream. I had to fight my way to the lake through the horrors of the night. I had to flick an old battered light switch imbued with childhood magic. I had to write a happy ending to a horror story. I had to save my wife from the dark prison she was being held in.
I realize he's like, man, this sounds crazy. I'm happy he has that realization. But yeah, like no matter like the justification of it's not. It's the way the game is written does not set its pacing and tone, right? Like that's why like the original Resident Evil was so good, and like despite all its weird shit, the original Resident Evil is still considered a masterpiece by many people. Push. You guys have me so rarely push things in this game. This is also another weird thing like this. It's weird when they make you stop and do this instead of just being like an open... Push all the way to its conclusion. Anyways, yeah. My point is that, like, Alan Wake can't seem to decide what it wants to be. So it's like, I think the narrative is interesting, and I think all the delivery methods of the narrative are interesting. It's just that Okay, well, I mean, this is definitely a combat area if I've ever seen one, so I'm going to probably just try and burn through all this hunting rifle ammo and pick up that shotgun at the end of it. So don't be afraid.
I will never give her to you.
Never give it to you. But yeah, like, this could be a really interesting, genuinely interesting horror game, you know? So it's kind of one of those, like, why is it like this, basically? Like, I don't understand why. Given time now? Okay, I'm just assuming you're given time now. That's one thing in here. Bit coffee thermos. Or, you know, more stuff. Alright. Shit keeps happening, so I keep losing my train of thought. Sorry. Again, the game can't decide what its tonal shift is. It wants to be action, but I feel like it's too actiony, and even at times like a little over the top for what it's trying to be. You know? So like, why choose all this? Like, why take so much time to build this game so well in so many areas, but then like seriously, where? Alright. Let's get up on top of this thing here. Make this a bit faster. There we go. Okay, I feel like that's the start of the next set piece. But, like, this game focuses a lot on, like, huge, like, set pieces and stuff like that, right? Like, which is what gets me. I can get back to that truck, can I? Nope. I can get back to the shotgun in here, correct? I can. Cool. Okay. And yeah, that's just kind of one of those weird, I guess. It's weird to pace it like this. You know? It's weird to make the game so thriller and horror orientated, and to lead it in such a fashion, and
The dark place I found myself in was unlike anything I could ever have imagined. It wasn't solid. It flowed. It was conceptual and subjective. For someone else, an artist in another field, it would have been very different. I could sense the story of the manuscript all around me, the words and ideas floating in the air, poised to become real.
okay. Well, I mean, I'm gonna fiddle with this thing, I guess, and see what the hell's happens when I try and move this around. Or was that just to help me in the fight here? Is that all that was for? Anyways. But conceptually it's a bit strange. Like, it's a very jarring transition to it. And, like, a friend told me that, like, the way the characters are animated and stuff in the cutscenes give this, like, this very uncanny valley vibe. And, I told him that I could very realistically seeing the developers, these developers specifically Remedy, and I'm sure lots of others, taking that opportunity to just go ahead and, like, add that as, like, a layer to the game to make the game feel more uneasy. Because I wouldn't put that past Remedy. But I'm also not going to... Not something that, on the long run, I would be like... I wouldn't exactly give them, like, points for it either, because it's one of those,
I
like...
could see Mirror Peak in the distance. That's where Cauldron Lake was.
Fucking birds, man. It's a long, rickety-ass bridge I'm gonna have to cross in a second here. Anyways, back on track. Point is that the game can't seem to decide its tone. Like, its narrative and everything wants to be one game, but then the game it is wants to be another game. And that's my standing problem with it. Is this like a... Alright, I didn't expect to be in, like, a minecart section. I see those assholes moving it over there. Okay, that was far less eventful than I expected it to be. If I'm being 100% honest, I expect that to be a bit of a shit show. By a bit, I mean I expect that to be like a massive shit show. It's weird that they introduced all this pushing shit at the end of the game in like the last episode. Like, were they afraid that the last episode was too long? Or not long enough, maybe? So they were trying to, like, extend the last episode a little bit? Because none of the other parts of the game had this stuff. Just the last episode had it. But why? So, like, it's just strange. That's all. Not inherently, it's like, not, it's one of those things, it's not inherently a bad thing. It's not really inherently a good thing either, but, like, it's just weird. Conceptually, it's strange, and I don't understand why they would do that now. Pump action, yes. Oh my god, fucking so many flashbangs and stuff. I just started horking these things at everything that moves. Yeah, definitely a good thing I came back. My curiosity was rewarded. What is my stats looking like? Chests found. 27 out of 30. That's pretty good. Coffee is 8 out of 100. Nice. TV shows found all of them now. I guess that one, the flashback counted. But yes, still back on track. I'm trying to like pick subjects for every episode to discuss, essentially, while playing, because I used to do that all the time. I got so many of these. Hidden coffee thermos. Okay, you're playing this, like, horror music and shit, but... pretty decked out right now. But yeah, I repeat myself a couple of times now at the beginning of this, because I keep fucking getting interrupted and then losing my train of thought, then starting over. Wait, what hit me? Because was that guy throwing an axe? Okay. I'll assume the game was right on that one. Anyways, did it? Nope. Gotta come back down. He fucking just bends down, looks like he's like, what the fuck? What the fuck is this thing on the ground? Like, bends down, looks at it. Fucking like The Simpsons. Your shoelaces are untied. Upon closer inspection, I appear to be wearing loafers. Also, I literally just talked about using more flashbangs, because I'm sitting on so many of them. But, achievement unlocked. If it flies, it burns. So I toasted my 1000th bird. But I like the game overall. It's just one of those things where, like, I don't think I'd ever pick this game over, like, Max Payne, like a Remedy game. And what was their next game after this? I don't know. I don't know what their next game was, because they have, what, Collateral? Cracked? It starts with a C. It's like Collateral or Cracked or something like that. Here's their next game, and that's coming out next year, which is what prompted me to do this in the first place. Because I was like, oh man, I want to talk about Remedy games, because I love all their games. But Alan Wake is a game I never played, because I really love Max Payne 1 and 2. Some of my favorite game series. I guess give me a revolver like you didn't just load me down with dozens of shotgun shells and other things. Man, maybe you're running out of ammo. No. No, I am not. Nice. That was my favorite truck. I mean, last time I had to fight these guys, I fought them in, like... I fought them too, but I guess to be fair, I had Sarah and Barry there. I mean, I guess the black splotches could quite literally, because like they're like, it was touched by darkness. So like, I guess, but the black splotches aren't marked, aren't left on. Fuck off, man! I dodged. Close. And there was light. Cool. I was just another 20 minutes already. Anyway, something I said earlier on the episode is that, like, I'm trying to, like, pick a subject and talk about it. Because I used to do that, and I was getting pretty good at it, but then I stopped. Part of the reason because I just kind of ran out of things to talk about. Because it was just, like, I wasn't thinking about anything specifically to do. Jesus, 80 out of 106, almost done. Seriously, what's my manuscript page count look like in this? Oh, there's literally one more to pick up here before the nightmare difficulty. Holy shit, I'm super close to the end. So maybe the last part might be the last part. The next part might be the last part, not the last part might be the last part. The last part is definitely the last part. But even then, there's the episode 7 and episode 8. Yeah, there's the episode 7 and episode 8, which I'm definitely going to do. Because apparently episode 7 picks up right after the end of the game. So I'm very curious to see how they, like, continue this story. And then there's the American Nightmare DLC, which I guess could be a different series altogether. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. If you like, please do all the things, and I'll see you in the next episode.